And welcome back, Scrap Mechanics, Mahula Friends, and Mahula Fans, to the Mahula Brothers Incorporated YouTube channel, where we bring you today the big wheel tutorial. Now, I know I made a tutorial as to how to make the big wheels in the trike, but I had improved on the design a little bit and wanted to share that with you and to show you guys how to make that, and to make a couple of recommendations. Now, as you can see here, I've already made the supports. I've already made some of the supports for the wheels. Now, I could show you how to do one wheel, but then someone had suggested to make a couple of other improvements to the wheel, but I will show you two different versions of it because it depends on how much work you guys want to put into the wheels. Yeah, I know it sounds bad, but yes. When it comes to, whoops, wrong button. Where's the Q button? There it is. When it comes to the wheels, they take a little bit of time. So yeah, you might want to see these two different versions. As you see here, I'm just showing you how I would build the supported, I don't know how you want to call it, the multi, I can't think. I just woke up with this idea and how to record this. The multi-supported suspension, okay? Because most likely when you're going to be making these big wheels, you're going to want to use it on a large structure, a large vehicle. So this is how you would start off. And I know some people will be like, you're not supposed to do it like that. Well, yeah, I know. It still glitches. The suspension still glitch after you use the vehicle a little while. But this is the simple way to do it. Okay? So, here we go. Now, what I would recommend, there are a couple of recommendations I have for you guys. One is that if you're going to be using these big wheels for steering, make sure to, you're going to want to bring the wheels out a lot more. As you notice here, 1, 2, it's been the the axle has been brought out only about 2, 3 squares out. I would bring it out about, you would want to bring it out about 6. Otherwise, you're going to have to start cutting into the body for when you want to have the wheels to turn. Okay. At the same time, you see here the axle itself, I made it out 2. Where that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where that what I want to do here is I want to cut off any. I want to avoid any kind of friction between the wheel and the suspension and body. That's why you see everything separated by one block. I want to do that because what I notice, it helps with the performance of the wheel better. So 1, 2. So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that the whole wheel is about an 8 block radius. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, wait a minute. No, that's not what it is. Ha ha ha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's an 8 radius out of the center. Now, when I said no to the other supports is because you want to bring the supports out one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Aw, man, I put the wheels too close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's gonna be too close to this other wheel. Yeah, we're gonna build that somewhere else then. We'll build that somewhere else. As you can see here, this is your one little regular slab of material. So I forgot you needed 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, version 1 that I would recommend to everybody of the wheel. Sorry for the wasted time on cleanup. Hey, look, we got floating blocks. That's the glitch. See, that's the glitch everyone's talking about when you connect anything to suspension. Okay, so as you can, if you remember from my original video, I showed you how to do it only in one support and make it long, make the whole wheel long and make it wrap around. Well, from what I noticed is performance on the video, on the game, Scrap Mechanic, is that if you do it this way, it cuts down on the lag, or how much the game needs to calculate certain things, because if you make, and I'll explain this later, but all the dimensions are still the same. This is going to be 5, okay, 5 blocks each for every segment. But what it does to the game is that the game has a lot of, the game lags, and from what I was told, it's something about calculation due to 2 things. One, not as much for the contact surfaces, because I haven't seen the amount of contact surfaces being a major factor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I knew that looked too tall. From what I noticed in my games, and I'm not saying people are wrong, from what I noticed in my games is that lag, what contributes to lag doesn't seem to be as much contact surfaces, meaning surfaces on your moving parts with other parts of the game, in a sense of the amount of friction needed to be calculated, but more of the amount of moving parts, and shall we say the length, from what I heard, is the length of the chain. And I'll show you the example here in a second. So as you can see here from the wheel, we'll recap, is that each arm is 7 blocks long, and then each segment of the wheel is going to be 5. So what happens here is that in this design it helps out, because compared to my original design, because it cuts down on 3 bearings. Now as you can see here, I met the corner into a square like that. That'll make it easier. Now you do have the option, because you actually don't really need these end squares. You can actually cut these end squares down to 1, and then the wheel will actually shape very nicely. It just depends on how you want it to look, but the functionality will be completely there, depending if you want to keep these segments 4 or 5 long. But the center supports need to be 5. What did I do? There you go. See, it just has to look like that. Like I said, it'll still function well if you cut these corners down, or that you shave them down to that. Okay? It'll still function well, it just depends on how you want it to look. Okay? So for argument's sake, let's just do this. And then and it's a lot easier to count, because as long as all the dimensions are perfect, then you can count where these corners, if I crouch down, these corners meet like this. Okay, you don't have to count from there. And then that's it for constructing the wheel. All you have to do now is connect it up. Don't need that. Actually, we'll need a motor later, but we'll do that later. Oh, I already had a controller. So from here, all you just have to do is connect it up. And just like before, you make it into, make every angle 30 degrees. Now, I've heard different stories as to how this should be done. Excuse me. Because from what I heard, excuse me, it doesn't matter whether whether you manually activate the wheels into the shape, or if you have them do it automatically from the starting point here. But I personally like to activate it myself, just so that I can see that once you lay your vehicle down, the game will start to lag. Either a little bit or a lot, but then for some weird reason, and it could be because the calculation of contact surfaces, but from what I heard, it's, you know, it might not be. Where that you can actually manually activate that. Okay, you know what? Yeah. Let's do this. I forgot. This is not going to be a real vehicle. Not today. It'll take too long to make. And test. So we're going to just do this. Okay, so there we go. You got your wheel. Activate it. And as you can see, it happens all over again like this. Whether that's fine, you just have to right click on the angles you want to bring in and it'll go ahead and correct itself. And there you go. There you have the Mahula Big Wheel version 2, Mark II. It depends on how you want it to look, because it looks nice the way it is. Okay, or you can shave down the corners. Ha ha ha. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. I've been talking too much. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. I did it wrong, mommy. I did it wrong. Alright, but what I wanted to show you here also is that someone said, okay, you gotta make it smoother and add more segments and make the segments smaller. And I'm thinking to myself, why? I mean, because, like I said, depending on how you want to think about it, doing that might not be a good thing, because you're adding more moving parts, more segments, more separate parts that the computer has to calculate in order to have everything work properly. So, and it depends also as to how much you want to do, because it adds, having more segments adds some work. And to be totally honest, this design with the size of the segments the way it is, works perfectly fine, and will not cause your world to lag or crash as much. Because if you did that, then we would be adding, literally, this is actually. This is what why I wanted to give you the tutorial, to give you explanations. Because this one whole, the spokes in the middle, that's one. Then there's 4, 8, 9. So you're talking about the one wheel right now is made up of 9 separate segments. Alright, if you made the segments smaller, then you're talking about 16. 16? I can't calculate. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 plus 8. You're talking about 17 segments that the computer has to calculate for movement, contact, friction, everything, and then times that by 4 for at least 4 wheels. I wouldn't do that, because that would really kill your frame rate and your game, at least to where this current version of Scrap Mechanic is. Okay, as of the first week of March 2016. I forgot what the actual version is. Okay, so wait, I'm missing one. I am missing one. Alright, so there you go. This is your brain on Mahula Big Wheel number 1. Okay. This is the improved version of the Mahula Big Wheel. Now, let me show you the second version that everyone's talking about, where that it looks better. I'll admit, it looks better. And it performs better. It definitely performs better. But the problem that you're going to have here, like I said, is going to be game performance. because it's going to lag your game like, well, I want to be nice. You know what? I don't care. I'm a gamer. Let me use a little bit of language. Disclaimer: little strong language in this video. But yes, your build with more separate segments, especially ones that need to move, yeah, it's going to rape your computer. Actually, no, not your computer. It's actually all in the video. That's what it is. It's all in the video. Everything is in the video card. Is what it seems like. Most of it is being calculated and done. Everything in the video card. How am I doing? Oh yeah. So, version 2 of the wheel with the more segments. I'll show it to you anyway, just so you can see how it looks. The spokes are going to be the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can recount. Recount that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Yay, I can count. And I did it again. See that? I did it again. And I wasn't supposed to do that. I love it. I love myself. Alright, so 2. I'm trying to see it from here. That's it. 2. Oh, dang it, Bobby. Yes, whenever I say that with love to my boy Bobby Boucher, a real guy named Bobby Boucher out there in Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know if he still lives there. He might have moved to Maryland, but yeah, that's where I met him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I did it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did it again. I need to bring that arm out. Sorry for all the glitching on my part, because I've been switching between games and testing other games that I want to do on the the channel. And like I said, we were thinking about going back to 7 days and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I wish there was something like universal controls, but no. Everyone has to disagree, and it's true. That's right. Once you go with one and the other. Alright, so this is what happens. I guess they make the game like this because at this point there is really no... Well, I don't know. I was going to say there's no attack, but there's an attack with the hammer. So what you're doing here is that every segment is going to be 3, which will add, which will greatly add to functionality and everything. Now, to save on time and other things, you'll notice that I'm not going to make the wheel as big or connected, but it will work just as well. So you're going to do 3 on every segment here. There you go. 3. Alright, now if you notice here, segments are smaller and we are at the same amount of segments as this wheel. Now from here you need to add on another set of segments to the wheel. And you'll have what everyone else seems to like with the wheels. But like I said, you can do that, but at the current state of this game, the caveat is that you have a greater chance of lagging the game because of, depending on how many other segments and how many other moving parts you're going to have in your build. Not your build, in your entire world. It's actually your entire world. Game save, whatever you want to call it. Okay, that's what it's supposed to look like. Let me bring that down. Is that it? Yep, that's it. And another thing I don't like about that is that once you do that, you are going to need 2 controllers just for one wheel. I'd rather keep it as 1 controller per wheel. So let's do that. As you can see here, see that? Okay, just to let everybody know, if you can hear the music in the background, because I keep forgetting what volume level I'm supposed to have it while I'm recording. Everything you're hearing is from the No Copyright Sound YouTube channel. Sounds. No Copyright Sounds for YouTube channel. What happens here is that these are tracks from, oops, that's just enough. So you're hearing tracks from independent artists, where that they make free versions of the tracks and then they sell a different version, longer version of the tracks on iTunes and everything else. Is that everything? That's everything. See that? You need 2 controllers. That's one reason why I don't like this design. I'd rather just keep it simple and do 1. I know I put the switch down there, but it's out of habit. So we're just gonna do this. That's all 30. Oh, no. Sorry. I'm sorry. Take that back. Now that you have all now that you have more segments, the angles are cut down to 15. Okay? Remember that. When you have the second version of the wheel, when you have the more segments, angle is cut down to 15. I completely forgot about that. It looks nicer, I'll admit. It's a very nice design. It's a great design, a lot nicer, but I wouldn't use it for the current state of the game. And then same thing, you let it go, and then you start fixing the angles. See, now that you, oops. Now that you do that, it looks a lot rounder, right? It looks much more rounder than this thing. But then you saw how much work you put into it. So that's the question. The question is how much work you want to put into it. You know, where that you have 2 controllers, 16 bearings just for the wheel, or 1 controller and 8 bearings for this wheel. So it's up to you. I'll admit this does look nicer, but it will give you a greater chance of lag on your world. And it does look nicer when it spins. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's put you there. Otherwise, yeah, you're gonna start. And yes, I used to be a racer myself, a real life, a street racer, and yeah, I was all about the bling and the rims, and I loved my rims. You can't find them anymore. But see, which one looks better to you? And at the same time, like I said, depends on how much you want in your world. Now, if you can hear that in the motor right now. The motor is actually lagging just from all of this. It's starting to slow down, starting to lag. You can hear your world lag just by the sound of your gas motor. If you hear it starting to, I don't know, if you can hear it starting to choke, then yeah, your world is starting to lag. Even though you're not losing speed, if you hear the sound starting to choke, you are starting to lag. And I'm already starting to lag just with these 2 wheels. So that is your big wheel tutorial, the Mahula Big Wheel version 2, Mark 2 right here. Or the very nice version where that, I'm not going to steal this one, because other people have made this version of the wheel, and at the same time I personally don't recommend it. So thank you guys for spending time with me here today. We thank you for your support. We ask for your continued support by liking, favoriting, sharing these videos. Tell your folks, tell your friends, tell your non-friends, tell your frenemies about the Mahula brothers. And, you know, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Let me know what you think. I know everyone's probably gonna, if I say ask for your vote, you know, I would say always, everyone's gonna vote for the nicer looking one. But, you know, like I said, it depends on how you want your game to perform and look. So, just to show you a comparison as to the size of the wheel, that's your big wheel. That's your size of your big wheel. And then the regular wheel, the smaller wheel, the medium wheel. There you go for size comparison. Size does matter, guys. Size matters. Well, when it comes to your scrap mechanic builds. Alright, so thanks a lot. As always, keep frosty, stay thirsty, and be safe out there in the real world. We want you to enjoy the Mahula videos, the Mahula channel, YouTube, the internet, and life itself. Be safe out there.